Spring Hill Jack. I saw those two words in the paper this morning, and my God, how they take me back. All that was 8 years ago, almost to the day. Once, while it was going on, I saw myself on nationwide TV, the Walter Cronkite report. Just a hurrying face in the general background behind the reporter. But my folks picked me out right away. They called long distance. My dad wanted my analysis of the situation. He was all bluff and hearty. And man to man, my mother just wanted me to come home. But I didn't want to come home. I was enchanted. Enchanted by that dark and mist-blown strawberry spring, and by the shadow of violent death that walked through it. On those nights 8 years ago, the shadow of Spring Hill Jack. In New England, they call it a strawberry spring. No one knows why, it's just a phrase. The old-timers used to say it happens once every 8 or 10 years. What happened on New Sharon's? Teachers call it that particular strawberry spring. There may be cycle for that too, but if anyone has figured it out, they've never said at New Sharon. The strawberry spring began on March 16, 1968. The coldest winter in 20 years broke on that day. It rained and you could smell the sea 20 miles west of the beaches. The snow, which had been 35 inches deep, in place began to melt, and the campus walks ran with slush. The winter carnival snow sculptures, which had been kept sharp and clear-cut for 2 months by the sub-zero temperatures, at last began to sag and slouch. The caricature of Lyndon Johnson in front of the fraternity house cried melting tears. The dove in front of Pressure Hall lost its frozen feathers, and its plywood skeleton showed sadly through in places. And when night came, the frog came with it, moving silent and wide along the narrow college avenues and thoroughfares. The pines on that moor poked through it like counting fingers, and it drifted slow as cigarette smoke under the little bridge. Down by the Civil War canals, it made things seem out of joint, strange, magical. The unworthy traveler would step out of the juke-thumping brightly, lit confusion of the grinder, expecting the hard, clear stariness of winter to clutch him. But instead, he would suddenly find himself in a silent, muffled world of white, drifting fog. The only sound, his own footsteps and the soft drip of water from the ancient gutters. You have expected to see Gollum or Frodo and Sam go hurrying past, or to turn and see that the grinder was gone, vanished, replaced by a foggy panorama of moors and dew trees, and perhaps a druid circle of sparkling fairy ring. The jukebox played Love is Blue that year. It played Hatred endlessly. It played Scarborough Fair. And at 10 minutes after 11 on that night, a junior named John Dancy, on his way back to his dormitory, began screaming into the fog, dropping books on and between the sprawled legs of the dead girl lying in shadowy corner of the animal sciences parking lot, her throat cut from ear to ear but her eyes open and almost seeming to sparkle as if she had just successfully pulled off the funniest joke of her young life. Dempsey, an education major and a speech minor, screamed and screamed and screamed.